Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe button. Here we have another crazy story, another 3-story. Gang member Get Low. Don't forget, we're still trying to figure out what happened to Get Low. R.I.P. to Get Low. Have to admit, he seemed like he was a good person. The only thing is, he just loved that Crippin'. Imagine loving that Crippin'.
This was going on, you feel me? I feel like niggas back in the day was way less, cause niggas, feel me, niggas always ratted, you feel me? But now it's just mad crazy.
Once that A-ball broke, you know we gonna go back to them tops.
Yeah.
Once niggas broke that A-ball, cause we was fucking with them niggas for a minute.
Yo,
like,
for night, I want you to break that down. What the A-ball was actually about?
Man, it was Crip, nigga. We was tied in with them niggas.
Don't forget, I said it before. If you don't believe me, go check out my other videos. Imagine that. I forgot my last channel was hacked. You can't go check those videos out. Imagine that. But let's get back to it. I say, you know what? These gang members, they don't have a cutoff point. Told you before, the cutoff point is 23 years old. If you have kids before that, it's as soon as you have kids. Imagine that. Daddy, where are you? Daddy hanging on the block.
If you was jacking the 6, we all was together. Know what I mean? Cause we was misled. All of us ain't understand the history of this Crip shit. That's why I said I had to go back to the land and really tap into how shit really go. Cause in New York, they gave us all them bum ass knowledges. What's under your bed? What's behind the moon and all that. That shit was for days. But like I said, that's New York shit though. I can't step on that. I can't.
So that's what happened. The Bloods and Crips, they done took over. They're probably everywhere now. They're definitely in jail. Imagine that. Imagine definitely being in jail. That's all these Bloods and Crips, that's all they really do is know how to go to jail. That's it. Where's the Big U at? He's in jail. Imagine that. These gang members. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a video about these gang members, Crip gang members from California. You know what they're saying? They dropping their flags. Imagine that. They say, I don't want to be Crip no more. I don't want to be Crip no more.
Spit on that, cause that's the foundation. But at the end of the day, we want what's real, gang. I need this shit. You see, like, this is concrete. You know what I'm saying? It's the sword, gang. Like, we need that. We don't want nothing that's going to happen.
Daddy, where are you? Daddy hanging out on the block. Imagine that. Have to admit, it's a crazy life you have to live when your father's a gang member. Have to admit. The terrible thing about it, I haven't met a gang. I mean, you know what? Let me not say that. I did see this gang member. He was like 75 years old. He's still around. Imagine that. Imagine being a 75-year-old gang member.
Niggas told my question, yo, what set that is? Where them niggas from? Nah, I'm not into that. Like, niggas gotta know what that is. You feel?
Imagine that. Senior citizen gang members.
Down for a little minute. I'll let you do the question. My bad.
It's all good. How long you been down?
I've been down 15
15
on a murder case. They gave me 50 to life.
Okay.
You know, hopefully things change, but you know, we walking it off.
Real gangsters.
However it go, you know.
Absolutely. Now, if you don't mind me asking, like, what did that day consist of?
What is that day?
Yeah, that
Real
specific
gangsters.
day in question. What did that consist of? Or how did you come to?
It consists of ignorance, you know, blind leading the blind.
Okay.
You know, now 37 now, you know, I got a purpose, you know what I mean? I got love for, you know what I mean, my real loved ones, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to move different now, you know what I mean, a little smarter. I'm trying to think before I act.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I never thought, like, you know what I mean, about consequences and coming to jail or hurting my mama or not being there for my daughter, you know what I mean? So I'm just thinking now, you know what I mean?
Now, what was the moment that you felt things shifting?
Just being in here, meeting my enemies. They're not really my enemies. You know what I mean? And I was putting all my energy into that, and it got me here. You know what I'm saying? So I got to think a little differently now. You know what I mean? And I ain't got no enemies. You feel me? That's what I like the most.
Low, see, you know what? That's the foundation. That's the foundation. Imagine that. These individuals all the way from New York, all the way from another. Imagine that. Across the country. You might as well say across the pond. Get Low thought it was cool to be a Crip. Not realizing most Crips All they are delusional individuals. They don't know their fathers. Imagine that. I'm just saying that. But let's get back to it though.
But at the end of the day, we want what's real, gang. I need this shit. You see, like, this is concrete. You know what I'm saying? This is the sword, gang. Like, we need that. We don't want nothing that's gonna have niggas talking about questioning, yo, what's up that is? Where them niggas from? Nah, I'm not into that. Like, niggas gotta know what that is. You feel me, Rick? Like, niggas gotta know what that is. Crip, like, so when the homies, like I said, when we go back west, it's simple, nigga. The homeboys already know what's going on out here with us. Like, tapped in. We super tapped in, nigga. Them knots is tied, nigga. But back, like I said, like back then, that 8-ball, once that 8-ball broke, got the 3-letter gangs. The 3-letter gangs really took over this whole shit, gang. Teams and you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what
you
really
speak
took
of
over.
3-letter gangs, is that
Like OYG and YG. We're not shitting on y'all.
That's like crews type shit.
Yeah, crews became more important than gangs, and that's what fucked this
But
shit
do you
up.
feel like that's the originality of New York City though? Because we used to be crews before we was gangs.
Nah, hell no. I can't say that. I could say I could agree to disagree, but I can't say that because nigga, what?
Everybody got their
opinion.
It's like nigga, we took an oath for this shit.
Yeah.
You ain't take no oath being in no crew.
Yeah.
We took an oath for this shit.
Crews break up, nigga.
You know what I mean? We gotta stick by these rules that come with this shit, bro.
Imagine that. These individuals have rules, but they don't pay taxes. Imagine having rules, but you don't pay taxes. I mean, do these gang members pay taxes? They probably do. I'm just talking, that's it. Entertainment purposes. But either way, I'm trying to figure out why Get Low thought being a gang was cool. It's not just Get Low, though. I heard a whole lot of these individuals, they're really misguided. Imagine that. Imagine you're really misguided. Mess around. Imagine having let's get back to it. Get Low. He thought being crippled was cool. But the individuals from California, they went astray too. Those original Crip members from California, they've been going astray. They've been got their 3 strikes. I wonder why the individuals from New York never talk about the 3 strikes. The only thing they're talking about is a Crip, and that's it. You know what it is? They don't have 3 strikes in New York. That's probably why. Imagine that.
You know that. The oath separate the 3-letter gangs from the gang. You dig what I'm saying? It's an oath, it's a written. This is something that we sat in our crib and embedded in our soul. Like, nigga, we gonna stand on business with this shit.
So how do you feel about, like, basically, because there's a lot of people that be saying, like, if you jacking the gang and then you jacking the crew at the same time, you double jacking.
And that's why we don't allow that right around here. You see this right here? It's one thing over here, and that's GL. You know the vibes, 6-0. That's it. You can't be nothing else. We not with that, nigga, because you're not gonna bring them problems to us, and then we gotta inherit that. We not doing that, because we already got our own shit we dealing with. Like, we don't want no extra at all.
Believe it or not, it's stressful being in a gang. Not only you have to worry about getting unalive like what happened in Get Low, you have to worry about going to jail too. Imagine that. Imagine you have to worry about going to jail. Imagine that. Imagine you have to worry about going to jail too.
Way before our time, you know what I mean? For being here, learning the history, you know what I mean? This shit happened a long time ago. We've been lost and blind a long time ago. But we come in here, we read, we congregate, you know what I mean? Now we gotta just pick up where we left off and try to lead the, you know what I mean, the young life differently.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We got it though, we on top of it. You see us, you know what I mean? Beautiful, my people. We getting it together.
Absolutely.
We getting it together.
So knowing what you know now, there would have been a different outcome.
Oh yeah. We needed this. We all needed this. We were knuckleheads.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You can't do that to no badass little kids coming up, but sit them down somewhere. You know what I mean? Mama can't even come get us. Mama can't come get you here.
Mama!
So you gotta figure it out.
Where daddy at?
But you know, we tribal. You know, we always gonna be where we from. You know what I mean? We gotta just make where we from a better place. Because I love where I'm from, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I love where I'm from.
Clearly a great sense of pride.
Yeah, I'm good. Like, somebody acts like this ain't, like, this the spot. You know what I mean? This is where I done got stronger, wiser, better at. You know what I mean? It didn't happen out there, it happened in here.
Okay.
Right.
So I can't be mad at this. I got about 10 more. You know what I mean? The youth offender, you know what I mean? I caught murder under the age of 21, so they, you know what I mean? They giving back.
Okay.
So one of the things you said is that you've been led astray. You were led to believe that other brothers that look just like you, that were likely related to you in a way or another.
Who taught us how to move like that? We didn't know. We didn't ask either.
Okay.
We even ask. Well, go get them. Let's go. And go ahead, you know what I mean? And you get your little love and you get your little high off of that. That ain't about nothing. You know what I mean? Once you start experiencing it, you know what I mean? Like I was telling my boss the other day, I work in the kitchen in the morning. I was telling him, like, I feel like, you know how a lot of people do things to get money, and I'm over here learning and picking up knowledge and experience. It feel like making money. It feel better than money. It feel like gold. You know what I mean? Learning not to be stupid no more. You know what I mean? It's just a different feeling.
Imagine that. Imagine going to jail and you appreciate knowledge over money. I have to admit, it's fair to say a whole lot of these individuals, they were led astray. Sometimes you got to go to jail. Like what he said, to learn. Imagine that. Imagine never learning in a free society. I'm just talking, that's it. But either way, Get Low's no longer here. Cripping's no good for nobody. Imagine that. Imagine imagine that. Check out my other video if you like this one. They say crime don't pay, but I see them do it. I see them do it though.
We're following breaking news this morning. 2 men are dead and a woman is hurt after a shooting in Durham. The WRAL breaking news tracker captured the scene on Roxborough Street near Old Oxford Road. Just before midnight, 3 people were found in a car, all suffering from gunshot wounds. The woman is expected to recover, and right now the road is closed as officers work to learn more. We'll continue to follow this developing story.
Here we go. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. But here we have another crazy story. YBT, imagine that. Either way, RIP this young man right here. He was just here. Imagine just being here, you're no longer here. When I heard about him, I said, you know what, who was he? And I found out, you know what, he was a typical rapper. Imagine that. If you don't know what a typical rapper is, let's get back to it.
BT in the building, aka the Murder Genie.
Okay.
I know what's going on. I just jumped out the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard. We here.
You heard what he just said, the Dirty G. He said the Murder G. Imagine that. So it's no surprise why he got unalived. It's a terrible thing, though, really is. I wonder why these individuals glorify violence. Imagine that. Look at that individual in the background. He's throwing up gang signs. Imagine that. Imagine throwing up gang signs. But let's get back to it, though. It's a terrible thing. But either way, it's a terrible thing. Some people say somewhat unfortunate, because he was somewhat of a young man. Imagine that. He grew up in an era where he thought talking about playing with firearms was cool. Imagine that. Imagine thinking about talking about playing with firearms is cool. It's a terrible thing, it really is. Either way, he's no longer here. Who was he, though?
We got YDT off the porch with us today.
Yeah, man, I know what the fuck going on. Okay.
How you feeling today, bro?
Good, everything going good.
Yeah, man. Go ahead and introduce who you got sitting on the porch with you today, man. You boys came deep today.
Yeah. All right, look. I got my right-hand man right here.
Okay.
He's big gutsy. I got my brother, Trey, Mr. B with that 3, you know, Gary Zay.
As you can see, these individuals, they're throwing up gang signs. Imagine throwing up gang signs. They're so cool. Imagine that. But either way, it's a terrible thing. I have no idea why these individuals think it's cool to be in a gang. Imagine it's cool to be in a gang. I just didn't know because I've never been in one. Imagine that. Imagine I don't know what's going on in the real world. Okay.
Lil Tay, a little Flip, Spot got him, you know, gang. Yeah, shit.
Okay.
What else he got shaking here in Atlanta, man?
We just really up here maneuvering around, trying to see if we can get out of the city for real. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you just recently celebrated your birthday, man. What you do for your B-Day?
Man, I had a big ass cookout, man. Straight family, friends.
No more birthdays, no more cookouts. That's a terrible reality for this young man right now. And individuals who did this to this young man, they're on the run right now. Imagine that. I wonder how far they are. If I was to take a guess, I'll say they're about 20 minutes away from where the crime occurred. Imagine that. You know what? They might be 15 minutes away. Imagine that. These individuals, they don't know how to run far. Imagine that. Let's get back to it, though.
Yeah. Like, my friends try to make that shit better because I don't really like doing that.
Okay.
So they come together and goddamn make something shape for me every time.
Yeah. That's what's up right there, man.
So,
All right, so talk to us about Durham, man. What's going on out in Durham?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, we really running that shit. Like, I ain't even the only rapper here. Me and Get Rich Zay right here, like, we running that shit. And my brother set it off, and set it off. Like, we got that shit in the headlock, and him.
It might be the truth. Maybe rapping is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, or maybe not. These individuals, for whatever reason, they like to talk about firearms. They even like to play around firearms. Get fancy tattoos too. Imagine getting fancy tattoos. It's fair to say these young men made their minds a long time ago that, you know what? I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. That was so disrespectful. Let's get back to it, though.
Feel me?
Okay.
It's like us four on top of that shit, so. In this gangland, so we got to play that shit cool.
Okay.
Feel me?
So what was your childhood like? What were you into before the music?
Shit, so I grew up in the trenches, but
okay.
Back then I used to hoop and shit, but that's a little phase everybody go through, but yeah, I don't really know.
A lot of times, these individuals, they really grew up in a house. Imagine growing up in a house and you say you grew up in the trenches. It's a terrible thing. These individuals, they don't grow up in the trenches. They usually grew up in a house where they have access to an indoor bathroom. Imagine having access to an indoor bathroom and you say you grew up in the trenches. I can never figure that out. A lot of these individuals, they even have refrigerators where they live. Imagine having a refrigerator where you live and you say I grew up in the trenches. I can never figure that out. Imagine that. A lot of these individuals, you know what they have sometimes too? They even have TV they could watch. Imagine watching TV.
Gang shit.
Okay.
So when would you say you jumped off the porch? How old were you?
I was like 14, 15, like my uncles and shit, OGs, so this shit, it come naturally to me, you feel me? It was just when I was ready for it.
Okay.
I got you.
I was really about younger than that, you feel me, like 10 years.
So basically, this young man is saying, you know what? He was basically, his uncles. They're the original individuals who led him astray. Imagine that. Imagine having uncles who go in and out of jail and play around firearms. You want to be just like them. It's usually never a good outcome. It's a terrible thing. It really is. Imagine that.
I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
So how long you been rapping now? When'd you first start?
Like 3 years.
Okay.
2016, I dropped my first video in 2016 called Smoke.
You should have got a
job. The name of the
job.
song was Smoke. And like, that's why I just blew up in the city.
Okay.
You get that first little city buzz. That's before we even started the 83 Babies group, because I'm part of a group and shit. So I blew up in the city like that, you feel me?
Okay.
Everybody was just fucking with me because they know.
It's a terrible thing. A whole lot of these individuals, they don't know how to move. They don't know how to survive in their cities. They really don't. All they really know how to do is just talk a good game. That's it. So this young man, he decided to become a rapper, talking about firearms. He wasn't talking about, I know I can be what I want to be. He wasn't saying, I know I can't be, let's get back to I know I can be what I want to be. He wasn't singing any song. He wasn't saying Kumbaya. He was talking about firearms. He was talking about unaliving people. Imagine that. Okay.
Group and shit, so I blew up in the city like that, you feel me? Everybody was just fucking with me because they know ain't no cap in my rap type shit, you feel me? So it was coming like that.
Yeah. Did you expect that first one to blow up like that? Did you expect people to catch on?
Nah. Because, I don't know. I just did it because it was a little wave going on and I just hopped on that shit. Kind of conquered that shit.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Now he got conquered. Imagine somebody conquering you. It's a terrible thing. But the individuals who did this to him, I wonder why they decided to throw it all away. Was it worth it? Imagine throwing it all away for somebody else. I have no idea. I know for a fact these individuals wasn't thinking they're going to get away with it. Imagine that. Imagine thinking I might get away with a crime. It's an unbelievable thing if you think about it.
Listening to, who were some of your favorites?
I ain't really like listening to, now I don't even listen to music now, but my uncles and shit, one of them sing and one of them rap, you feel me? Okay. So I just look at them like, dang, this shit probably meant for me too. It run in my family or something. So I did it, and that's how it's going.
Yeah. So how did the 83 Babies form? How'd you guys come about?
All right, so when I told you I dropped my first song, right? The other 83 Baby that's locked up.
Okay.
He really wanted me to set it off to do a song with another rapper. I ain't gonna say his name, but he was gonna pay for the shit, you feel me?
Okay.
So we was all in the studio and shit, so he like, man, we need to goddamn come up with a group. He the oldest, you feel me? But he wasn't really rapping then, because me and Set It Off kind of the ones who really doing it, you feel me?
Okay.
So he was just like, yeah, we need to come up with a group. Like, that shit gonna be hot. So we like, yeah, we just gotta come up with a name. And niggas came up with a name, and that shit took off from there.
Okay.
For real.
Yeah, 83 Baby.
Yeah, 83 Baby, like.
Yeah, y'all boys made a lot of noise out there, man.
Yeah, we still making noise. It's just feel like a little black ball hitting our way or something. I don't really know. Everything happened for a reason. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
Why do you say you're blackballed?
Because like, if you right there at the door, it shouldn't be no reason that you going backwards. You feel me? You should either standing there or going through that door. You feel me? Waiting for somebody to open that motherfucker. I felt like we were kicking it.
It's a terrible thing. Unfortunately, he never got the door open for him. It's a terrible thing. It really is. The individual who did this to him, I wonder why. I'm assuming it was somebody who he once probably called a friend. Imagine that. It's a terrible thing. It really is. Hopefully, individuals moving forward, once they decide to become rappers, they can stop talking about violence. They could probably rap about. Imagine that. So imagine that. So that's what's going on. This young man, he never made it. He couldn't survive in this city, just like a whole lot of these individuals. If you like this video, check out my next one. They say crime don't pay, but I see him do it. Unbelievable. Gang. These individuals think it's cool to be in a gang. They really do. That's what I heard, at least. Here we go. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe button. Here we have another crazy story. C Murder. For those who don't know, C Murder. I mean, imagine that. Was he on NBA YoungBoy Lover back then at the time of his arrest? I don't know. Maybe not that high up. Imagine that. But either way, they're from New Orleans. You heard me? But here's a story of C Murder right here. You heard me?
You heard me.
You know what I'm saying? The 4-4. We got choppers inside the ship, but we can't bring them out because all the kids in this early law shit, you know what I'm saying? But this side go down around here, we represent for my nigga Joe. CP3.
Okay.
You know, this is real, man.
That mean protection, that mean retaliation, that mean you gotta live by the gun, you gotta die by the gun, you heard me?
It's a terrible thing. Imagine that. Imagine living by the gun and dying by the gun. It sounds like a movie. But either way, C Murder, he's really in jail right now. It's not a movie. It's reality. He's in there because he's been accused of unaliving somebody at a young age. Imagine that. Let's get back to it, though. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe button. You heard me? Imagine that. You heard me?
With it, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got all that jewelry, but I got buku ammo.
Okay.
Buku ammo.
Corey Miller, C Murder, was born on March 9, 1971, in New Orleans, Louisiana. He grew up in the Callio Projects. He initially gained fame in the mid-1990s as a part of his brother's masterpiece label, No Limit Records. Miller was one of the members of True, aka the Real Untouchables group, which originally consisted of him and 2 other rappers. Both of them
Make
were
him
his
say,
brothers,
huh?
Master P and Silk the Shocker. Miller released several solo albums of his own through the label. In 1998, he released his album, Life or Death. It went
What I could never figure out, why these individuals want 2 jobs. You would think that C Murder, he should have just stuck to being a rapper. But no, he wanted to be in the streets too. Imagine that. I'm trying to figure out, was he getting paid more as a rapper? Or was he getting paid more for being in the streets? I don't know, I'm just talking, that's it. But either way, C Murder, he's in an unfortunate situation right now. He's in his 50s locked up. When he was in his 20s, he was living good. Imagine living good in your 20s. In your 50s, you locked up. Imagine that. Let's get back to it, though.
platinum. And looking back right now, the title of the album is quite ironic. The album peaked at number 3 on the US Billboard 200. In 1999, he released his album Bossellini. The album also did really great, selling over 175,000 records its first week. It eventually was certified gold. It had a lot of great guest appearances like Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg, Crip, and Daz Dillinger. Year after that, he released his third album, Trapped in Crime, in 2000. I'll talk about this album later on, but this album is pretty wild to me. Everything from its name to its album cover. The album also had a lot of great special guests, like Fat.
Here's the thing right here, to be honest. C Murder, he's from New Orleans. I mean, he's from New Orleans. I mean, you know what I mean? I can't talk properly right now. What I said, New Orleans? He's from New Orleans. But either way, back then, C Murder in New Orleans back then, things was different. All these individuals believed in, believe it or not, it's a terrible thing, was violence. So C Murder, he grew up around that life right there. Violence. But here's the thing right here. Not only the violence occurred to those individuals in New Orleans, a lot of them went to jail. And C Murder, he's just another one. Only difference is he's famous. He's a rapper. Imagine being rich in jail. Is it better to be rich in jail or poor? I don't know. I'm just talking. That's it. Let's get back to it, though. Corey Miller.
Snoop Dogg, his brother Silk, and lots more. The album went number 9 on Billboard 200. It became his third straight album to land in the top 10 on the Billboard 200 chart. Probably one of his most known songs to this day was from this album. Its hook went on to be used years later by the one and only Kanye West. In 2001, he released his last album with No Limit Records, and also while being a free man. The album was called CP3.com.
This the Calio project right here, you heard me? This CP3, all that shit y'all be hearing about on them songs.
After the release of his third and fourth project, C Murder was at the top of the game, money.
A lot of these individuals, for whatever reason, just because they're from the projects, they feel like they gotta be tough guys. Imagine because you're from the projects, you feel like you have to be a tough guy. Is that what happened to C Murder? Most likely. Don't forget, these projects, sometimes they have dangerous reputations. Imagine that. I don't know why they believe in violence, but they do. But as you can see, violence, only thing gets you into a bad situation. Imagine getting into a bad situation over violence. Let's get back to it, though.
House, you name it. He was living the dream, but all of his dream life that he built for himself will soon come crashing down. See, when you rise to the top and have a possibility to finally leave the situation you come from, you leave. All of the life that you lived before, especially coming from the streets, has to be left behind. Even though he had the right guidance by his brothers, who went on to have successful careers, C couldn't separate himself from the hood. As mentioned before, C grew up in the Calio project. The project was built between 1939 and 1941. The early days of Calio consisted of people who were from working class families, who lived comfortably and were saving enough funds to...
They said the projects was supposed to be a place for individuals to get on their feet. You know what I mean? What I mean is, like, it wasn't supposed to be pissy hallways and graffitis on the walls and individuals hanging out in the hallways. But it became like that. As the generations went by, the projects kept getting worse and worse. Imagine that. Let's get back to it. It was a terrible thing. I'm from the projects. Imagine that.
Their own home. Unfortunately, since the early 1980s, rival drug dealing street gangs have operated in and around the Calliope area. The violence escalated in the late 80s and peaked in early 1990s. From 1994 to 2004, 88 people were killed in the Calliope project. Throughout the early and mid 90s, it got so bad to the point where Calliope project got a nickname, murder capital of the United States. It had the highest per capita homicide rate.
And I'm saying murder has to be a young killer with a lot of sense.
But even at this point, Corey was still considered this as home.
Imagine that. Calio projects. C Murder. He said, you know what? I'm from the streets. I want to be around the fellow criminals. I mean, you know, I want to be, you know, I'm just talking. That's entertainment purposes. But either way, they said C Murder, he didn't want to hang around the mansion all the time. Imagine getting tired of being in a mansion. If C Murder was tired of being in a mansion, he's definitely tired of being locked up in that jail cell right now. Imagine that. It's a terrible thing if you think about it.
No matter how bad it got.
One of the benefits of living in a project is then hurricane time, you ain't got a trip because them bricks ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
You ain't got a trip.
He didn't want to leave his past friends behind. He said he would have felt like a traitor, turning his back.
One of the terrible things about being locked up in prison, when it's hurricane time, it's made out of bricks. You don't got to worry about nothing. You don't got to trip. Imagine that. C Murder, he ain't tripping in jail.
His day ones.
Okay.
He was a real dude, but all of this realness will be the main thing that lead to his downfall in the end.
You down, you down. You my nigga, you my nigga. If you ain't, you ain't. That's just how the fuck it is.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Ain't no bullshit or nothing. So y'all gonna just see, look in the nigga eye and see what a nigga about, you heard?
In an interview, his brother Master P mentioned that at the peak of his career, even while having mansions at suburbs, cars worth millions of dollars, he would still go back to the hood just to chill and do whatever. He even bought himself and his friends an apartment there just to chill.
Being in the hood more than I be anyway, you know. Still trying to do what I gotta do. So why not have my own spot there? Still, you heard? It's 2-bedroom, 2 stories. 3rd floor Calio style.
Okay.
He loved the hood, and the hood loved him. He was active.
Imagine that. 2 bedrooms. I mean, 2 floors. Imagine that. Right now, C Murder, he only has 1 jail cell. Imagine that. I mean, imagine C Murder had 2 jail cells. Would that make a difference? Imagine that. Imagine having 2 jail cells in jail. I never thought about that. I wonder if he would set up jail cells different. Imagine that. Imagine setting up 2 jail cells different.
And doing all the things he did before becoming platinum album selling millionaire hip hop superstar. Being in this environment ultimately led him to get into more and more trouble.
I'm just like them. See what I'm saying? Ain't no motherfucker coming back, nigga ain't never left. Shit be with you. Take a nigga out the hood, you can't take the hood out the nigga.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
She murdered a real person because he hang with my people in the cut.
Okay.
One see, one love.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? True soldier to the game.
To the game.
You know, Murder, you know, he do everything. It be like love.
Okay.
You know, he don't forget about us. Party with us. Do everything with us. He don't forget. Smoke with us. Chill.
Okay.
You know, we do everything. It's like he one of us. He a part of us. You heard me? He true.
You heard me?
He all you to the gang. You heard me?
Okay.
Corey Miller, known to many of you as C Murder, has spent more than a decade in prison.
In late 2001, C Murder was starting to get into some.
Have to admit, his name being C Murder, does that play a role in anything? I have to admit. Your name being C Murder, I'll be honest. Your name being C Murder and not going to jail for murder is kind of crazy. Imagine that. That's kind of like my name being Mr. Hamburger, and I never ate a hamburger before. Imagine never eating a hamburger before. Your name is Mr. Hamburger. I'm just talking, that's it.
Facing aggravated burglary and aggravated assault with a firearm charges. And even though this type of charges are
Mr.
not the
Hamburger.
ones to mess with, C couldn't even imagine
that,
what was
Mr.
coming
Hamburger.
for him very, very soon. His real, or quote-unquote, really serious problems with the law started on August 15, 2001. C and his crew went to a club called Club Rags in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Shortly after arriving there, a security guard asked to search him. C refused to be searched. Following his refusal, owner came to the front of the club and told C Murder that he can't let him inside with a gun. Miller then, allegedly, tried to shoot the owner of the club as well as the bouncer.
Imagine
the incident was even caught on tape. After firing 1 shot, luckily his gun jammed, and nobody got seriously injured or...
C Murder's a bad man. Imagine being a bad man and a rap at the same time. So it's fair to say C Murder, he was a hard worker. Multitasker. 2 jobs at the same time. Gangster, rapper. But here's what reality is right now. C Murder, he's trying to be free. Free me. I mean, he's not saying like that. You know what I mean. I just say that for just to sound funny. Imagine saying free me just to sound funny. Let's get back to it though. It's serious. C Murder was caught on camera pulling a firearm. Imagine that. These individuals say, you know what? I'm a good boy. And you mess around, you see them on camera pulling a firearm. These individuals. I wonder why. I wonder why C Murder didn't enjoy being a rapper. That money wasn't coming fast enough. It was. I mean, was C Murder watching the episode of Scarface before he went out? I don't know. Imagine that he want to be rich, famous, and violent at the same time. Imagine that. C Murder probably want to have 3 jobs.
He later turned himself in and was released on bond.
Okay.
You could say that he got lucky that time, but this luck will very soon run out. On January 12, 2002, not even 5 months later after his initial arrest, C and his crew went to Platinum nightclub in Harvey, Louisiana. On that particular night, there was a rap battle going on. 16-year-old Steve Thomas was one of the participants in the rap battle contest. As one of the bouncers recalled, Steve was a cool guy. He wanted to be a rapper. It was packed. The music was loud, which is typical for a nightclub. C Murder and his friends were hanging out in the booth, talking, drinking, and just having a good time. Thomas finished his set, and as soon as he stepped off the stage, a group of men attacked him. A fight breaks out. Security guard gets there and starts to break the fight up.
Have to admit, I used to always wonder why a 60-year-old was in the club, but now I know why. He was just there for a rap battle. Imagine that. He probably looked up to C Murder. He probably wanted to be a rapper too. Imagine that. Imagine looking up to somebody. You heard me? Let's get back to it though.
Don't really know how and why Miller and his crew got into that fight, but C was there. Security guy grabs Corey from the back and asks him to chill, stop fighting. He answers, "Alright, cool big dog, cool." Just after finishing his last words, he gets back to fighting. As soon as Corey returned, single shot was fired. Crowd and all of the people in the club start to run towards the exit, including C and his crew. Once everybody had cleared, Steve Thomas, 16-year-old kid who was trying to pursue his...
It's a terrible thing. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. Imagine that. What a life to live. What a world. I mean, imagine that. Same crazy world. C Murder, it's fair to say, he believed in violence. He named himself C Murder. So it's fair to say, fair to assume that, you know what? There's a good possibility that C Murder, he's guilty. You see C Murder on camera pulling the trigger. So it's fair to say he know how to pull triggers. Imagine that. Imagine know how to pull a trigger. I'm just talking, that's it.
Of becoming a rapper was just lying there, full of blood. He died from a single gunshot wound to the heart. It was a tragedy that should have been avoided. One of the security guards, Darnell Jordan, was taken to the detectives bureau. According to him, they showed him 6 pictures, asking him, "Who do you know in these pictures?" Security guard recognized one of them. It was none other than Corey Miller, aka C Murder.
Corey.
After recognizing one of the 6 people, according to the security guard, he was asked to sign a paper. He thought nothing of it, signed, and that was it. He was released. But what Darnell didn't know is that police tricked him into signing a paper, which confirms that he saw C Murder pressing the trigger and killing the innocent child, eventually becoming one of the key witnesses in the case. If the previous time he managed to get out on bond without anybody getting killed, this time it wasn't looking good for C. And if you think that after all of this ego and anger getting the best of you in not only one situation, but now 2, which even claimed an innocent child's life, you would get some sense in your mind and at least lay low. You couldn't be more wrong. 6 days after the shooting happened, on January 19, C Murder was arrested. And maybe somebody would like to take a guess where? It was at the House of Blues in New Orleans. Not the club this time, but close enough. Once again, he was causing disturbance there.
They got me at first with a guilty verdict, but you know they did it wrong.
So it's fair to say C Murder, for whatever reason, he wants to live a certain type of life besides being a rapper alone. Imagine that. It's fair to say he's definitely living a different life right now from being a rapper. Imagine that. Okay.
In January 2002, Miller was charged with second-degree murder. He pled not guilty. His murder trial began in September of 2003 in Louisiana. The security guy we just talked about, Darnell Jordan, testified for the prosecution. Under oath, he claimed that Miller shot Thomas. Back in 2018, he did state that he was pressured by detectives to testify. He was scared, detained, and locked in a hotel room by the police for refusing to testify against Miller. He recanted his testimony, but none of this mattered back in 2003. A After 15 days of testimony, the jury came back with a guilty verdict. The sentencing for Miller's family was devastating. Being found guilty of murder charge in Louisiana means mandatory life sentence without parole. After the first trial, Corey Miller and his team started to work towards reclaiming his freedom. He hired Jennifer Witchery, private investigator. According to her, she investigated all facts, talked to all the lawyers,
Imagine that.
witnesses, and found that there is nothing that suggests that C killed the kid. There were no evidence apart from one witness who was tricked into signing the papers.
Y'all know I'm in JPCC. They got me at first with a guilty verdict, but you know they did it wrong. My spirit's up, my people behind me, you heard me. Pray for me and hurt.
But either way, see, Murder, I think he's in Angola right now. Imagine that. I'm talking about the prison. I'm not talking about the country. They say Angola's not a normal prison. Imagine that. I mean, by the bayou. Imagine that. But let's get back to it, though. See, Murder, he's one of the main rappers that throw it all away in the beginning. I'll play another video for another rapper who threw it all away. Went from fortune to fame to shame and disgrace. Imagine going from fortune and fame to shame and disgrace. But yup, that's what Corey Miller is. Corey Miller is. That's how he living right now. You heard me?
While investigating the case, they discovered that prosecutors improperly withheld criminal background information on 3 of their witnesses. New trial was granted by the judge in 2006, following this new finding. After serving 3 years, Corey not only got one more shot to prove his innocence, but also granted him house arrest till the new trial. He was allowed by the judge to promote his new, yet-to-be-titled CD and his novel, Death Around the Corner. All the visitors, including reporters, must get a permission to see Miller from the judge. He wasted no time outside, and while awaiting retrial, he released 3 albums. The Truest Shit I Ever Said in 2005, Screaming for Vengeance in 2008, and Calliope Click in 2009. Remember when at the beginning of the video, I mentioned how his Trapped in Crime 2000 album was so insane to me? Well, maybe now you understand why. Imagine being a judge, police officer, jury, or anyone for that matter, in that court, and hearing the guy who is charged with the murder and trying to prove his innocence is also the same guy whose rap name is C Murder, has countless of records and albums, all of them talking about the crime, killing people, quote unquote, being trapped in crime, album covers featuring him sitting in a jail cell, a whole album dedicated to his neighborhood, murder capital of the United States, and much more. Also, remember the shooting in 2001 at Baton Rouge, where Miller fired one shot at security guard and club owner, but saving himself from killing somebody when his gun jammed? Well, in 2009, on May 27, C pleaded no contest to 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder. He was found guilty and sentenced to 10 years in prison, with credit for time already served. Back to his shooting case, Corey Miller's retrial began in August 2009. At the retrial,
so it's fair to say Corey Miller, C Murder, was one of the original bad boys. Imagine being an original bad boy in real life. Corey Miller wasn't satisfied with just being a rapper alone. He wanted to be feared. He wanted to be respected. Imagine that. Imagine wanting to be feared and respected, and you're just a regular normal person. I have no idea why individuals want to be feared or respected. And I have no idea why individuals, after they commit their crimes, they want to get out instead of sitting down, relaxing with their pillow and stay there forever. But either way, C Murder said he didn't do it. Imagine that. He said he didn't really see murder. And he said he didn't do murder. Imagine that. If you like this video, check out my other one. They say crime don't pay, but I see him do it. I see him do it. Unbelievable. Imagine that. They said C Murder went from a millionaire in a mansion to a regular person in a jail cell. Try and get out like everybody else. Here we go. Here we go. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe button. Here we have another crazy story. Another crazy story. They say it might be a fall from grace. Or they say, you know what? It could be history repeating itself. But one thing I do know for certain, indulging in violence and crimes, the outcome is usually very dark. It's usually not very bright. It's usually not for whatever reason.
Gotta do better. My whole goal is to be a better father, for real.
Why is that one of your goals?
Everybody else got the common story where, like, man, my daddy was locked up, we grew up in the house, everybody got the same story. But it was like, my story was, my daddy didn't snitch on the biggest gangster in the world, Larry Hoover. So he got 26 years for that. So me growing up with my mom and my brother and them, it was like, couldn't nobody tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I had to choose my road. So me being bad as shit till I just started realizing life. So now, when I be in my kids' life, it's like, okay, bet I gotta do better.
Unbelievable. So it's fair to say Lil Durk, he messed around and turned himself into the new modern day Larry Hoover. The reason why I say that, because Larry Hoover, back in his days, in his prime, he was a big man, top dog in a sense, you know? And then his friends came and they, they basically told on Larry in a sense. Not everybody. That's why Larry Hoover's been locked up longer than most individuals have been alive on the earth right now. I think Larry Hoover has been locked up for almost 50-something years. Imagine that. Has it been that long? Maybe. I think so. I believe Larry Hoover has been locked up since the 70s. Doesn't matter. He's still there right now. And he's almost 80 years old. So Lil Durk might mess around and be the modern day new Larry Hoover. It's a crazy thing if you think about it.
When I started getting more into my religion, and just like talk to my pops while he was locked up, talk to my uncle and them, and they like, man, we had the money, fame, the cars, we had the city on lock, we some of the biggest gangsters, and we went to jail and got life. So he like, so what you going through? Like, we been through. He like, so when you call, you like, call vent to your pops, call vent to your aunt. Like, let's talk, let's have a conversation. He like, but I don't want to hear no crying. I don't want to hear no complaining. I don't want to hear no, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that. He like, because I just showed you I did.
So that's what's going on right there. They said Lil Durk, he might have placed himself in an awkward position. What I mean by that, they said his life, his freedom, everything might be in the hands of some individual who he once considered a friend. One thing about friends and friendships, sometimes they could end. Not only that, though, let's get to it. Let's focus on the point. Modern day Larry Hoover is what Lil Durk might be. At the bare minimum, like his father used to be. Run around, fancy cars, fancy jewelry, all the money, all the beautiful, everything they wanted. And then, it was taken from them. They went to jail. Lil Durk, Big Durk, is no longer living like that anymore. Say he did his 26 years. He didn't want to tell on Larry Hoover. Someone told on Larry Hoover, though. That's why he's still locked up right now. Longer than most people have been on the earth for. Definitely longer than since I've been born. Imagine that. I wasn't with. Let's not get back. Let's focus on it. Either way, they said Lil Durk, he might be the new modern day Larry Hoover. Individuals participate in crimes all the time. They never want to get caught. But Lil Durk, the crime they say he participated in, very similar to Larry Hoover, unaliving people. Imagine that. I believe Larry Hoover was sent up the river for compensating individuals, if I'm not wrong, for unaliving people. Imagine that. They're so similar. And it's crazy if you think about it, because they said Lil Durk, his father, knew Larry Hoover personally, the old man. Looked up to him like a superstar, role model. I mean, like a hero, folktale hero, neighborhood hero. Just like how Lil Durk, he's being looked up to right now in a sense. Celebrity, folktale hero, celebrity, you know what I mean. These individuals, for whatever reason, not only the money alone they want the power, and they want to be feared and respected. Imagine these regular, normal people Regular man. Want to be respected and feared. Imagine that. They say respect is earned. And no one deserves full respect unless you earn it in someone's eyes. And as far as they want to be feared, imagine that. Now all these individuals get to do right now is be feared. Imagine that. These individuals are feared. Let's focus back to it. Let's get back to the topic. Lil Durk, the new Larry Hoover, might be. Place himself in a position, went from rags to riches to rags again. Imagine that. Imagine going from rags to riches to rags again. The streets, individuals think when they say they're from the streets, there's like it's something to be proud about, like it's something to look forward to. I'm from the streets. Imagine these homeless people who's really from the streets. But these individuals say, you know what? I know how to do bad things. I know how to do bad things to people, but they be acting like they don't know how to do their jail time. Imagine that. They be trying to get out. So that's what's going on with Lil Durk, aka he might mess around, be known as new Larry Hoover. But it's not just Lil Durk alone. Other rappers have been in the same situation. They really have, for whatever reason. You know, but Lil Durk is probably one of the most successful rapper